Hey, everybody. Happy Friday. Oh, Friday. When you're watching this will be the completion of my third week back to work. And I talked in the videos earlier this week about, you know, we all struggle to find the time to do the things we need to do. And, between making the videos, I've been swapping laundry, doing my treatment. My hair is wet from the shower because I finally got that done. And it's, it's been an adjustment. So thank you. I truly appreciate your patience with, I know even my energy has maybe been not the same for the last couple of weeks, and I'm adjusting much better now. I'm getting there. So again, thank you for your patience. And we are using the wisdom of the oracle for today's topic. We have time to go. And we've talked earlier this week about clarity and building blocks and controlling our thoughts and getting everything under control. Time to go is like, it can be taken two ways, and I'm feeling it both ways actually, where it's time to go for what we want. And when we do that, it's time to go from what we've been doing. And Miley is very frustrated with me, so I apologize for the whining. If it gets horrible, I will edit it out and do a do over. Um, but in order for us to move into something new, we have to let go of something old. And depending on your personal situation, it could be, you know, a relationship, it could be a job, it could be a location, it could be a family dynamic, it could just be your own, something, a behavioral pattern that's been sabotaging you. And we all have them. We all have them, and it's so hard even to identify them. But once we do, it's time to go because our subconscious mind and our old belief systems and our thought patterns and things that have sabotaged us throughout our lives, until we can identify those, we stay stuck in those patterns. And if you're new here, I wrote a book, read a book, and it's called Get Your Shit Together. But if you look at the cover, like, I felt like that for years. Years. It just seemed like no matter what I did, I couldn't get out of the same patterns. I would try something and get the same result, try something, get the same result, not realizing that it's because I didn't change in here. I was changing my actions on the outside to a degree, but my thought processes, my beliefs, even the beliefs I had about myself and my own capabilities kept me from achieving the things that I really wanted. I knew I wanted them, but every time I tried to accomplish it, I fucked it up over and over and over ad infinitum. And then, I don't know about you, but anytime that I had what I perceived as a failure, then I would spend weeks, months beating myself up, swearing that I'd never do that again. This is never going to happen again. And I'll be damned if it didn't, because why? I didn't change me. And so, truly, if we really want to change our lives, we have to change ourselves. At least the way that we have operated in the past, that has proven to be unsuccessful, unrewarding. For many of us, it's boundaries. Just setting the boundaries in our lives to give us the space and the resources to go after the things we want. Maybe it's time to go from putting other people first. Maybe it's time to go from not believing in yourself. Maybe it's time to go from trying to please the people around you and do the things that they want to see you do, because for so many of us, that is such a challenge, to disappoint the people that we care about. But to spend your life disappointing yourself is so much more insulting. So maybe it's just time to go from letting other people dictate what our lives look like, or letting other people project their thoughts onto our lives to where we're not pursuing what we want. And when we can let go of some of the old beliefs and expectations and behavior patterns that have not been beneficial to us. And if you're like me, you can look back and pinpoint where a lack of boundaries or someone else's expectations or the should do, the shoulds. Don't should on yourself. So many people have expectations of what proper behavior is. Well, and that's fine, except that I don't have to agree with that or comply with that. And like right now, there's a family member who is horribly upset with me because my life has been hectic lately and I do not have the extra bandwidth at this time for anything extra. And we had a family member pass away, and their funeral was this weekend. However, I'm not dead, and not to be cold. This was a wonderful individual. I thought he was fabulous. I would love to see the people that are mad at me right now. And because it is an ingrained belief that you should drop everything and go to a funeral, uh, you know, in their opinion, what I have done by choosing not to attend is just disgraceful and dishonoring the memory of this person. And it's like, no, look, okay, I get it. I get that's our culture and that's how people feel. However, that person does not have an opinion about me not being there. It's their funeral. Y'all have an opinion about me not being there. And so do I. And my opinion is my plate is full. I need to have as much time as possible right now for self care because I'm going through a major life transition. I'm not dead. My shit is still happening. And I'm sorry that this didn't happen at a more convenient time, but I'm not going to run myself into the ground trying to meet your expectations when in the big picture, it doesn't matter if I'm there or not. It doesn't reflect on me as an individual or how I felt about the person who passed away. I couldn't stop it. I didn't kill them. It just happened at a very inconvenient time. And the belief is that I should attend. Well, that's not my belief. So, you can get over it, try to understand, or keep your bullshit to yourself because I don't have time to listen to it. So, as we grow and evolve in this life, and we learn that trying to meet everyone's expectations, trying to people please, trying to do what we should do by other people's standards, and exhausting ourselves and not feeling joy and not being able to properly care for ourselves because we're taking on all of these other things, maybe it's time for that to go. That will free up a lot of space in your life when you stop trying to please the people around you, especially when it's based on things that are just cultural ridiculousness. Because when you look at it without the emotion, a lot of the things that we believe we have to do are kind of dumb. Like it's not really even healthy to go parade next to a dead body. That's just weird, really. In the grand scheme of things, most cultures didn't do that. And it doesn't really help us process anything. You talk about being in a really bad environment for absorbing people's emotions. If you're already in a place where you're tired and you are really just trying to carve out time for care and rest and protecting your energy from other people's emotions, yeah, go to a funeral. See how that's going to play out for you. That's going to be horrible. It's like, look, I just cannot do that right now. I have to respect that about myself, whether you do or not. I really cannot give a lot of energy to. I know what is right for me. And if you can't accept that, then I'm sorry, but that's that. So when we can get to that place of putting ourselves first and maintaining our boundaries without giving energy to the feedback we get from other people for our choices. And I'm not saying to be disrespectful or disregard the important people in your life. Make time for the relationships that matter to you. Make time for the people that are important to you. And but do it when you are able to. When you have the capacity and space to do it, not when you're exhausted and burned out and struggling to get by. That is not the time to be carving out more space for energy exchanges with other people, and especially if they're not a person who fills you, but a person who pulls from you. That's not where you want to be. You want to be around people that fill your cup, and it's an exchange. You fill their cup, they fill your cup. You leave feeling energized and better for the exchange. If it's a person that sucks the life out of you when you don't have a lot of life left to suck out, that's got to go. And maybe not just right now. That may have to go for good. Um, but again, with all the energetics that we're undergoing right now and the new energy that's coming in from these major transits, we're going to feel off anyway. We're going to feel more drained anyway. So being more thoughtful about what we allow in our lives and what we don't. What is it time to let go of? So that you can act on this time to go forward in this creation of the new you. Build those walls, build them high, defend them. Because when we're in this type of energy and this type of potential is lying before us, this is not the time to allow ourselves to be distracted by mundane things that aren't important to us and what we desire. And again, not to be selfish, but there is nothing that I can give to someone whose spirit has gone back to source. I happen to know that that individual would completely understand and be proud of me for not caving like everyone else. His feelings would not be hurt at all because while he was alive, we interacted and had a great relationship. And I can't do that with him now. And there's no point in me exhausting myself trying to show up to show that I cared for him because he can't appreciate that right now anyway. So, uh, again, it's about really maintaining a perspective on what is important to you. It doesn't have to be disrespectful to others. And what other people deem disrespectful does not have to be something that you agree with or something you beat yourself up over because we all have sovereign the sovereignty to make decisions as individuals that may not go along with what everyone else believes. And if you're in that position, good for you. That means you're thinking, like we talked about on Wednesday. You're thinking, you're owning your thoughts. You're learning who you are and what's important to you and what matters to you. Even if that doesn't match the people around you, as we elevate spiritually, as we go through our soul growth, we're going to view the world in a much different way than what a lot of society does. We're going to be the eccentrics, the outcasts, the weirdos, and, you know, those are my favorite people. So I don't have a problem being that. I'm looking for more and more of them in my life all the time. And when I meet one, I'm ecstatic. I'm like, ooh, it's another weirdo. But yeah, as we're going, we're seeking clarity. We're thinking about where we're going to go. We're trying to get in better touch with what is ours. What is ours? What are these my emotions? Are these my thoughts? Are these my expectations? What do I want? A very important part of that is figuring out what needs to go. Not just where you need to go, but what needs to go from your life, from your energy, from your priority list that isn't yours. that's going to keep you from where you want to go and where you're meant to go, that you're laying the building blocks for. So shout out, sending you all the love, all the encouragement, all the strength. Because in those moments, it's hard, especially when it's something new where we're just starting to really enforce our boundaries and not allow the manipulation of other people to change our minds about things that we've decided are not right for us for whatever reason. And we don't have to give an explanation. We don't have to engage at all. Do what feels right to you, but at the end of the day, protect what's most important to you. Sometimes it's just going to be your sanity. Miley, enough. Right now I'm protecting my sanity from Miley. She's having a day. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope this helps, and I will talk to you soon.